right? Coming through with something new. The year 2020, not 2022, but who knows by then what I'll be doing. Here we go. Gonna talk about how I use my subconscious mind to make passive income, find new sources of passive income. Really, you can use your subconscious mind for pretty much anything, but this specifically is how I use it in relation to income, finding new ways of passive income, how I've done this in the past and how I'm doing it right now. So, how I know, what I do, things I've been through, lessons I can teach to you, everything, something new that it brings. So, Davin. Looking how there's a problem right now with passive income, right? Like that's pretty much why I'm doing what I'm doing, because most people don't understand passive income. Most people don't really understand, even like once they do know what it is, how to start earning it, how to start generating it. So it's not like finding a job. It's not like how people are taught to make income, right? Like finding a job, like you have your resume, like you look on a job board and you just apply and then pretty much like you're not in the driver's seat, somebody else is. Like they pick you, they bring you in, you jump through some hoops and then you get a job based on, like, for the most part, their terms. With passive income, you're the one that's generating the term. It's all about your subconscious mind. It's all about what you look for is going to be what you find. So really, if you're looking for a source of income to make $1 a day, that's what your subconscious mind is going to be putting you through. That's what's going to lead you to. But if you're looking for a source of income that's going to make you $1,000 a day, same thing. Your subconscious mind is going to be putting you towards that. So don't waste your time and do something that's whack. Make sure you do what's good, do what you enjoy, do what you should. So really, I'm going to get into the solution to this problem, right? I'm going to talk about how I put my subconscious mind to work to discover passive income sources. I'm going to talk about how you can do it too. So first, I'm going to explain how this works, like how I do it. So before I do that, go ahead and hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Make sure you can stay on to new information coming steady. Down in the corner of the screen, not sure which direction because I might flip it. So if you know what I mean, get on the team, join the community, bring in more unity so everybody can get it together, no matter the weather. Keeping currency like Tether, if you know what that is, that's a new source that I'll get into on another day. So basically, right now, what I got to say with my own personal journey with this, right? Really the first time that I realized like the power of this with my subconscious mind, I had already used it to find sources of passive income. So at this point, I had already generated maybe 3, but at least I had 2 sources for the one project I'm working on that relates to this story. So basically the 2 main sources that I had were generating the majority of my income from this project that I had. So I lost one source of passive income due to unexpected circumstances, which is what can happen with really any kind of source of income, whether it's a job, whether it's passive income. But that all goes into having multiple sources of passive income, right? Like it's hard to work multiple jobs, but you can, build multiple sources of passive income and they're always going to be there. You lose one, you have more. You lose 2, hopefully you still have more. So basically you just keep going for sure. So a few years ago, this project I had lost one source of income. And because of this, I was like, well, I don't want to be making what I'm making now. I want to be making what I was making before I lost that source. So of course I'm like, well, I should find new ways to make passive income off of what I'm already doing. And I, even though I'd already been doing this for more than a year, and I was just happy with these two sources because it was making me the amount of money that originally I wanted to make. And I didn't really understand passive income to the extent of how I used it. I just understood passive income, and I was kind of unconsciously doing it just to get these two first sources. But this time I had a better understanding of subconscious. So I'm like, okay, well, I want to make new sources of passive income from the same thing I'd already done. So I start doing the research. I start doing the subconscious mind, consciously planting seeds that we're going to grow into finding new ways to know how to make this new source of income. So really, because I lost the one door is closed, many more are open. But at the time, like, this is the first time I lost a source of passive income. So to me, it was almost like losing a job. Like, I used to work jobs. I've had jobs that I've had for years and, got fired, sometimes to my own fault, sometimes not. But either way, it's like, I was like mad about it. I was sad about it. I was kind of frustrated. And now, I've lost sources of passive income recently, like within the past year. And this is probably like 5 years ago. So in the past year, and it doesn't, I've been through this so many times now. And plus I know, like, so many successful entrepreneurs, so many successful business people have a mindset of, even if I lost, all the money I made, I would be able to use the skills that I earned to generate it all back and more. So having that source of income will really keep you off the floor when, it just goes to show that it's really like where your mind is at. So anyways, this first time I was pretty mad about it. I was like, this is not fair. I didn't do anything wrong. It was just like a mistake somebody had made. And because they didn't, that's really irrelevant, I guess. So basically, I started researching new passive income, started using my subconscious mind, like I'm about to explain how to do. And what I found was 2 instead of 1 more. And one of these 2 ended up making me more than the first 2 I had put together. But it was there. They were both there the whole time. I just never used my subconscious mind. So once I realized how to do that and how to pursue that, it was like, wow, I can really do this again for anything. But at the time, I was bringing in what I wanted to bring. So I wasn't even using it. Like, I could have, generated my income massively at that stage because I started to understand how this worked. But, that wasn't where my mind was at. My mind wasn't so focused on money because I had the money I was making to generate to do the things I wanted to do at the time. So now I see a new way to increase my time, to use my mind to make that happen. I don't think that really makes much sense, but just me rapping. So I found 2 more sources, and the project became more profitable as a result. So at times, could be drought. At times, like a loss or failure might seem bad, but if you, learn from it and grow from it, you're just going to get stronger. You're just going to get better, instead of just being mad about it, instead of, feeling sad about it, because it's always going to happen. Like, it's just part of going through the process. Even jobs today, right? Like, what's the average people keep a job for? Like, in the past, it was like you'd work at one job your whole life. Now it's something like 5 years, if that's right. So really breaking into the steps. So the first one is you got to know what you want. Like, this is kind of like the most important chapter in the first chapter in Think and Grow Rich, right? Like, the more you want something, the more desire you have for that thing, the better your subconscious mind will be at attracting it, or finding ways to achieve it, finding ways to, bring it into reality. So go ahead and comment if you can relate to this. Anything you can think of that wasn't even business, that was just like, you unconsciously used your subconscious, if that makes sense, to make something happen because you desired it so strongly. So you can really apply this to anything. Just know that, like, the more you desire it, the better your subconscious is going to be at making it come about. So, the first thing you got to do is, when you're looking at subconscious mind to make passive income, is know how much money you want to generate, how much money you want to make. right? Because this is huge, because there's so many different ways to make passive income out there that if you're not clear on, how much money you want to generate with it, you could be looking at sources that really aren't going to bring you that much money. And like once you know how much money you want, you can just not even waste your time with stuff that's just going to bring you like a fraction of what you need. You're only going to be focused on, hopefully no greed, but only going to be focused on, what's going to make you what you got to make so that you can get what you got to get. All right. So realize that you don't have to understand business. The better you do, the better you know marketing, the better you know all these things, all these different skills. The quicker and the easier. But just to start, like, you don't have to know business. You don't have to have a business. The more you understand how your subconscious mind works is gonna greatly factor into making money with passive income over having business skills, because those business skills will come over time. But it's better first that you understand your subconscious mind. Oh man, that's the quote for today. But so yeah, you don't have to start a business to make passive income. Just know what skills you want to make, or know what skills you want to use to make passive income. So like, what are you trying to do? What are you good at? What are you learning? What do you want to learn? Search for, once you know that, you can search for ways that people are already making passive income. Go on the internet, look at people that are already doing what you're trying to do or what you are doing, and look at how they're making passive income. There's books that have just, multiple sources of passive income listed one after the other. The majority of them probably won't apply to you. But if you go through the whole book, just finding that like 2% of information out of that entire book is going to pay yourself from the time invested and the money invested in buying that book like 100-fold. So I really want to understand how my subconscious mind works. You want to understand how your subconscious mind works. They all work a little bit differently, but for the most part, they all work the same. So the subconscious mind is always working, whether you're consciously using it or not. This is very important to know, right? Because the conscious mind is very different. So with your subconscious mind, it brings in way more data than your conscious mind. Usually about 2 million pieces of data per second. So yeah, your subconscious mind is bringing in about 2 million pieces of data per second, but it can process way more. Everything that's coming at you like is a piece of data, constantly, and you're consciously, constantly processing this stuff. But your subconscious is really taking in so much more. Like your subconscious is like doing things that you can't really begin to explore. So the more you focus on something, the more your subconscious will work towards that, like I said before. But when you understand that that's how powerful your subconscious mind is, you can really find the best time is to do it before you're about to go to sleep, right? So what you want to do is think like you're going to do something instead of think of how you're going to do something, because the how really carries some doubt, and your subconscious mind will pick up on that doubt because it's so strong. It'll pick up on every little thing. Even if other people around you are doubting what you're trying to do, your subconscious mind is going to pick up on that, and it's going to factor that into what you're doing. So that's why it's so important to be around positive people. You're average of like the 5 people that you hang around the most. So, that says a lot. Like people have their subconscious kind of like dictates how they act, how they move in the world. And when you're around other people, you're going to like unconsciously pick up off of their subconscious style. So anyway, it's most powerful when you are sleeping. So you want to start doing this right before you're going to sleep, right? That's when you should have like a clear mind anyway. You're winding down to go to sleep, like you're kind of at ease. So your mind is going to be ready to be receptive to the subconscious mode. So you want to think about like, okay, like how am I going to make this passive income? Like what are these new sources? Except lose the how. You want to say I'm making. X amount of dollars from X amount of new sources of passive income. And you can even add like an X amount of time by X date. So that's very important to create what you want. Also, go ahead and you want to understand your subconscious mind better. There's a lot of books out there. The top two I would recommend would be really Neuropsychology of Self-Discipline, also Psycho-Cybernetics. I found about Psycho-Cybernetics because one of my favorite football coaches, Vince Lombardi, right, famous football coach, one of the best coaches in the, I would say, in the world, but really, you know, history only goes back with the sport for like 100 years. So anyway, in my life, my like generation type thing, one of the better coaches, and this was like his Bible. Like, this man made all his players read this. Like, they would carry copies of this book everywhere they went, and this is a huge reason he believed why they were winners so much, why they won so many matches. So yeah, you also got to become aware of all the limiting beliefs that you have about passive income, right? So a lot of people I talk to don't even think that they're smart enough or have enough time or whatever, all these different reasons that they can make passive income. And I realized that not, you know, every idea I had would work. And this comes from just trying different things. This comes from having a positive mind in the first place, and getting rid of these limiting beliefs that you can just start doing stuff. And then you're gonna find out like it's really more the beliefs that are limiting you, and then you just have to like make these mistakes that you can learn from, that you get better, and then you become better at generating income. So yeah, the more that I failed, the better I got at making this work. So now I use this strategy on a regular basis, and you can do it too, even if you're already making the amount that you want with passive income. So like I said before, I've had really awesome, really lucrative sources of passive income available to me that I just didn't even see because I wasn't looking. I wasn't using my subconscious mind to find. So that's about it for this time. That was what I had to say to clear my mind on the topic for today. Hope you got some value off of what I had to tell you. Go ahead, if you haven't already, smash up the like button. Go ahead and subscribe if you haven't already. Any kind of comments or questions. Also, I want to be doing some live videos. I'll try to announce it when I know when I'm going to. Basically, you know, where I go on Facebook Live, and then people can come in with their questions and comments, and I'll answer them in real time. So I'll try to do that when most people are online. I can check the analytics to see what works best for that. Anyways, that's it for today.